Disaster has once again struck the industrial heart of the colony, and as you can see, it's continuing to strike the industrial heart of the colony. Repairs are underway, but we have a day of meteors still remaining, and somehow I don't feel all that threatened by toxic rain anymore right now. Hello, Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Surviving Mars Green Planet in our Red Winter series, where, yeah, we are just getting pelted by meteor after meteor. We did have some nice advances in the last episode and some good breakthroughs. We did, however, also lose several drones. This is after we lost some earlier in the series. So it's a real shame that we've continued to have this particular issue. Once we have some more money, we actually... Do I have the ability to build drones now? Yes, I do. So we can get a drone assembler built. We're actually behind the times on that. Let's go ahead and do that right frickin' now. Let's see. Are you in production? Yes, you're in production. Let's see. I guess best location for you would be... Yeah, let's have you over here near this section of the colony. I like the idea of it being... Yeah, we have a lake there, so we can't have it there. I want it to be in range of 2 different domes at least. No cable connection. I can fix that easily. Alright, there's that. Kind of an arbitrary placement, but it is what it is. So, and then all I need to do for power is have it be connected. Now that slot is, yeah, so we're just going to have that right there. And once that's down, we'll be able to build drones planet side, which of course requires another incoming meteor. Where? Oh no. No, don't destroy my other carbonate processor. Oh, I think it's going to. Okay, good. It didn't destroy it. I'll take it. I will take it. Like, it's better than the situation from a moment ago. Yeah, we've had this building already destroyed. Thankfully, we had the machine parts to repair it. Man, still need lots of concrete, though. Thankfully, we have plenty. This is just an entirely different situation, given that we... InfoWars? Really? Really? You're going to have an actual event name called... All right, whatever. So... Let's see, we've got... Yeah, it's just so much better with the shuttles moving stuff around is what I was going to say before that completely distracted me. Let's see. What have we got? Commander, an unknown rival is streaming propaganda videos at us. Videos aimed at inciting discord between several classes of colonists. Okay, I understand the label a bit more now. Some are aimed at factory and extractor workers, claiming a culture of elitism that gives scientists, medics, and the likes privileged status within the colony. Others are meant to agitate the same medics and scientists, with some clips claiming that many of the unpopular decisions the leadership of the colony has made are because of the pressure put on by the factory workers. Until we get our firewalls running again, we can block only a few of the channels. Some will have to remain online for a short duration, during which they can and will be watched by many colonists. So do we want... We're basically choosing who we want to lose morale. I'd rather have geologists and engineers lose morale, because I need to have my research productivity stay up. The morale in our infirmaries and labs is a top priority. All right. So again, having these guys fly our resources around for repairs is helping a lot. It's not nearly as much of a disaster as it was the last time that this happened to our colony. Of course, we aren't making as much progress with our atmospheric growth at the moment. Can't imagine why. Thankfully, though, you can see the concrete being rapidly ferried over. We just need to get 200, and that'll get rebuilt. And then we will rebuild the GHG factory. Right, you're finally full, so let me have you come up here, especially since I do need resources. I'm going to have you come unload rather. Unload all your stuff there. You don't have anything to speak of. See, the thing about building drones planet side Yeah, this thing requires electronics for maintenance too. Just maintaining the drone construction building requires electronics, but building drones also consumes electronics. One electronic each, so it's not like it's going to be cheap. What we need to do, I think, is go ahead and bring down some additional passengers. We have 12 that we can bring down. The rocket capacity is 12. So let's go ahead and just launch. And we're going to have them land here because we need as many people working in the electronics factory as possible for reasons just outlined. Meanwhile, we are 23% of the way through deep water extraction. I cannot wait to have waste rock liquefaction. Does that transform it into concrete? Yes, it does. So we'll have a ton of concrete at that point, and it's probably going to be worth it. Only 6 hours left in the meteor shower, by the way. It's probably going to be worth it to go ahead and build. This is a little bit premature, but we're going to need this. Let's have concrete storage out by this fuel storage. Because, by God, we're going to have a lot of concrete. We have a lot of waste rock, so we're going to need a place to put all of it. Speaking of concrete, we're almost done with the carbonate processor. Power is still a little bit problematic, though. I wonder why. Might just be because it was the end of the day. I need to see what it's like at the height of everything. Otherwise, we might be needing some additional power production. It may just be that we are repairing stuff. Make sure that everything up here is running okay. Yep. Yep. All good. We might eventually need to do some more here. We haven't really needed to add to our power grid since we built this stuff, but that could change. The colony is, of course, growing.
Resources are low.
Yeah, I know. I am well aware of it. I just had to consume a ton of my spare machine parts, and I'm still doing it. All right, good. The other carbonate processor is coming online, which means both of these should resume working together. Yep, there they go. Now, did I originally have these set up? Okay, I think for a while I had them set up to be off at night so they weren't consuming power. Yeah, power-wise, we're okay. Never mind. All right, now we're just getting the GHG factory built, and then we shouldn't have any more draw, aside from maintenance, on our machine parts. Let's have our 12 passengers land right here. We have 26 rare metals, so it's going to be time to export soon. Make some monies. It is good to see the electronics production staying nice and high. All right, so all of them, it appears, are going to another dome rather than this one. This one appears to be quite full. So noted. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I need machine parts production here, so if they're going here, then they might fill in jobs in this location. They might have already done so, because I didn't see any change. I'm going to turn off the night shift at the drone assembler, because there's no reason to have a night shift at the moment. Once I have some buffs in place to make night shifts a little bit more manageable, like the one we saw from our last breakthrough, I will reconsider, but for now we're going to keep things simple. Okay, good. The meteor storm appears to have ended, which means we now have a lot of resources sitting around waiting to be collected. So we're going to have a little bit of unloading there. And there's also the same thing to be done roughly here. I'm going to have them unload again in the area of the original colony. Good to see these buildings functioning normally again. We, of course, have a mission to capture ice asteroids still ongoing. It's only 40% complete at the moment. And we are still doing lots of deep scanning in the immediate area. Actually, I want that scanned next. That, then that. We're going to go that direction. I want everything that we have direct connections to right now to be scanned for any resource deposits. It would be amazing if there was deep water right there, wouldn't it? Because we already have a water deposit set up. Not that because of on account of all the ice melts. I mean, look at how much additional water we've gained from the ice melts. I like the mod. I feel like I've said this already, but I feel like it's a little bit OP because it's making us never have to think about establishing new water resources. But part of the reason we have so much is we had that massive ice age. So, again, an accidental mod. Wasn't supposed to be in place. Had some mods turned on when I started recording this series that I had completely forgotten about turning on. And so we've been having some fun with a slightly modified version of Green Planet here. Now, we are almost at 30 additional... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell Phoenix 1 to start loading up on rare metals. Because we're pretty much there. And those should load up pretty quickly as a result. Let's take a quick look at soil quality to see if we have lichen spreading anywhere else. Nope. As you would expect, it's really just in the areas where we are actively encouraging it. But once rains begin, natural rains, you'll start to see things spread a little bit more naturally.
Sector scanned.
Also, there will be options to seed the atmosphere, to literally spread seeds through the wind, the same way that birds on Earth carry seeds over distance and drop them. You can literally just have a rocket fly overhead and drop seeds across the surface so that as those rains proliferate, Mars turns greener and greener. It's really cool stuff. I would love to see the mechanics of terraforming deepen in the future. For those of you who have played Terra Genesis, which is a mobile game, one of the aspects about that game that's really fascinating is that you have to balance these factors. So you can go too far. It's not necessarily the same four exact factors, but you can overheat the planet. You can over-thicken the atmosphere, so to speak, and have a greenhouse effect. Right now, it's just a matter of getting these to 100%, then you're gravy in surviving Mars. So I would love to see that expansion to the mechanics in the future. All right, Phoenix number 1, that's a lie. You are not ready to take off. You have enough fuel, but you still need 2 more rare metals. Then you can take off. Please and thanks. Okay, let's see where else we can... Oh, yeah. Lots and lots and lots of metal over here. So that's the upshot of everything we just went through, is that now we have more resources to bring down. At least there's that. Again, part of the reason we're not building any new domes yet is we still have lots of room for additional colonists in the buildings that we already have. For instance, we can do a lot more with our dome up here. We need to land colonists here next time. Let's see if there's room. There's already 5 more. We're going to wait until there's more applicants than that. And of course, Martian-born colonists will help fill those spaces as well. Especially now that we have a university, Martian-born colonists are going to be particularly useful. We're going to rely more on our homegrown colonists, so to speak, as opposed to bringing them from Earth, which is what you want. That's the whole point of establishing a Martian colony. Notice that things have stabilized a little bit. We did have that massive meteor shower, and the cold waves are still a threat, but we're at a point where there's not as much micromanagement of the resources that we have on hand. We are producing with relative stability. We're producing the more advanced resources that we need to survive. We are kind of low on fuel, though, so let me come over here and make sure that I'm doing everything I can. We don't have the factory AI in place yet. It's going to eat up my electronics to do this. But just to make sure that I continue to produce enough fuel, let's go ahead and queue those upgrades up. I think it's worthwhile. 69% of the way through deep water extraction. I'm very excited to see where those end up. passenger rocket to carry 10 more colonists. Again, we're starting to rely more on our Martian-born, so I'm not really... That's not something I'm as concerned about. Okay, lowers the risk of colonists developing flaws after sanity breakdowns. Yeah, let's go for that. That's also a really cheap research project, so it's good to get that knocked out. Are you ready to go? You're ready to go. Get out of here. Make me some money. And we might, what I might do, even though I can build drones now, because my electronics production is not that great. All right, so Paradox is proposing they're going to give me 365 food for 50 electronics. All right, sorry, Paradox. That's a negative. Not going to do that. I like you, Paradox. I do. You are involved with a lot of the games I play on my channel. And you're very supportive of streamers. But I don't like you as a colony. You don't propose very good deals. Sorry, it's just the truth. All right, so let's load up here. And over here, there's that. Oh, we've had a Mars quake. Interesting. Mars is a geologically dead world. This means its metal core is solidified and cannot sustain a magnetic field, leaving the Martian atmosphere unprotected from the high energy particles of the solar wind. Unlike Earth, Mars has no seismic activity. This is changing with the introduction of magnetic field generators. Yeah, except that we don't have magnetic field generators yet. That's really weird. All right, well, it's saying 3 buildings have been damaged. Where exactly? Okay, so it seems like that's really odd. I don't know what to make of that. It's already been repaired for the most part. We can still do more with this dome eventually. Okay, so ice asteroids have been captured. Let's look at the planet really quickly. We now have a 5.96% surface water rating. And one rocket is on its way back down as a result. So you're not going to see... There is more surface water now, but I can't even see it in the Valles Marineris yet. So it's going to be a while before we can actually see surface water. But the key thing is that we're above 5%. So again, what that's giving us is that eventually that's going to help us end toxic rains once we have about 25% more in each of these categories here. Which, assuming we don't have any more massive meteor showers at the exact wrong time, shouldn't be too long. Okay, waste rock storage is full here. Haven't noticed that. It's not going to be a problem for much longer, but still something to keep an eye on. All right, those drones will be able to take care of that and get our water flowing again. It's probably been that way for a little while. Let's have you load here. This rocket is almost back to Earth with a relatively expensive payload. So I could order more drones. That's one way that I could spend the... Notice that I'm producing, by the way, 1.3k research per soul with no outsourcing at all. It's pretty nice. I could order more drones, or I could just produce them planet-side. We only have...
Funding received.
Really don't have a lot of electronics, so part of me wants to... That wasn't as much funding as... For whatever reason, I thought I was going to get more than that. So I could bring down more electronics. I'm just frustrated because I guess I could make the electronics factory high priority, and that would help ensure that more people worked it and were producing electronics as a result. I haven't done that as much this playthrough as I have in past YouTube playthroughs or non-YouTube playthroughs for that matter.
Resources are low.
Yeah, I know. Tell you what, let's close the last 2 slots and make the electronics factory high priority. That's going to guarantee that more people jump in and start producing. There we go. At least that way, yeah, that slot is closed. You're not allowed to do that. So at least that way we have more people working there and producing a little bit more. I've tried not to do that this playthrough. Okay, still more metal to be collected here. I doubt that we'll actually need a transport route for this, but I'll set one up anyway. Yeah, those are just meteors. They aren't actually to be collected. Same here, I think. Yeah, those are all just meteors. You guys also... They look like bits of metal, don't they? See, that looks a lot like that, but it's different. This I can actually collect. It's a funny little difference, but there it is nonetheless. All right, so ordering more drones or more electronics? That is the question. I kind of just want to order a bunch of drones. I do. Do I still have a free supply rocket? I bet I do. Or a free supply pod. So we could order 8 drones for 240 million. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Let me make a quick note of something. Yeah, launch. All right, so deep scans haven't revealed too much around here. There is not a deep water deposit there, unfortunately. So let's queue up a few more scans. Still hoping to find some, though. We'll be able to do a lot more with resource production in this area, but we're going to need to clear that large dumping site first. That's relatively easily done, though. Best spot would be to have it, like, there instead. So let's say that we want a massive amount of waste rock there. So what they'll do is they'll start transferring it from other sites. I actually want to say that, yeah, hang on. I want those to be full, but I want them to start transferring it from there to there. All right, so this is not helping, though, because... See, these guys, now I'm actually hating that these guys are in place because they're helping bring waste rock from everywhere. And it's like, okay, well, hang on. I know what I'll do. I'm going to set the desired amount to 285 at all of them. But then the one that I want to have none, I'm going to set to 0. That way they'll only bring waste rock from here. And then I'll change all the amounts a little bit later on. So what we should start seeing is... Okay, yeah, there's still ferrying stuff around. Okay, there we go. That's what... Where are you going? I want you to empty this out. Maybe they're taking it elsewhere, but that's fine. That's what I want to happen. All right, let's go ahead and land these guys. We're going to land them back in the industrial sector. We haven't landed any rockets here in forever and a day. There hasn't been a reason to. All right, so we have some new drones.
Research complete.
We have finished deep water extraction, so let's take a quick look at the planetary surface and see where stuff is. Oh, that's just deep water extraction. Never mind. So that's just the ability to extract deposits like this one here. So now it's not showing as deep anymore. It just looks like a water deposit because we can, extract it. So it's nice. We don't need to yet, but we've got access to it. So there's that. All right, so now that we have those drones in place, let's hop over to Command Center. Yeah, That's not necessary. I want to make sure that all of them have a minimum of 10. You should probably have 12. I still need to rename these. Let's put that up to 12. Maybe next episode, what I can do is start to rename these so it's a little bit clear which drone hub is which one. It hasn't gotten in my way too much yet this series, but might be worth doing. All right, so now we are currently focused on lake vaporators, which is going to help us get lichen spreading across the surface a little bit more. And also, speaking of that, let's take another look at when grass is viable. Grass is viable at 10% surface water, and actually grass would be viable if I just do the... I didn't realize it would be that soon. Okay, well, we can go ahead and start getting that in place. Tell you what, let's go to the planetary view. Do I have a rocket planet side? Yeah, right there. Perfect. I want to capture ice asteroids. It's going to cost another 100 fuel. Do I have the 100 fuel to send? Not really. So it might be worth waiting. But these guys are producing fuel fairly rapidly now. 17.4 fuel per sol now that I have both upgrades installed. Okay, well, that's definitely something to focus on in the next episode or two, but we're going to have grass on the surface before long, in addition to the lichen that we already have growing. And once we have our technology of lake vaporators finished, we'll be able to get a little bit more built in this area. The main thing that I want to do, as I've continued to mention, is bring down colonists to fill my remaining slots, particularly in this dome, so that we can have a justification for building another dome here. Because right now, I mean, we're not being efficient enough with the space that we've built, and so I want to really bring what's already there to maximum productivity before we build an additional structure here, full of its own buildings and resource production, etc. So we'll focus on that in the next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.